My beloved child, tonight the silence around you hides a truth that has been waiting to surface. The person who has occupied your mind, the one who drifts into your thoughts when you least expect, has never stopped loving you. Yet the reason you feel them so far away is not what you think, it is something deeper, hidden, and shocking. They linger close in ways unseen, whispering in the quiet corners of your heart. Every step you take, every sigh you release, is known to them. The bond has never broken, but a shadow has been keeping you apart. This shadow is not betrayal, not rejection, not abandonment. It is the silent hand of fate pulling strings you cannot see, keeping you distant so that something greater can unfold. Their love has not faded, it has been preserved, waiting for the moment you finally uncover the truth. The distance you feel is not emptiness, it is protection. A barrier meant to guard you both until the time is right. And now, that veil is about to tear, revealing everything. Type Amen to get blessing 333. My beloved child, listen carefully. The reason for your distance is a shocking twist of destiny that no one could have predicted. It was not your fault, nor theirs, it was the unseen storm of circumstances. They loved you too much to pull you into the chaos they were facing. They stayed away, believing distance would save you from their pain. They were silent, not because they stopped caring, but because their love was too sacred to risk breaking you. The truth is, every night they remembered you. Every day they wished they could step closer but were held back by invisible chains. These chains were heavy, forged from secrets, fears, and promises made long before you even knew. But tonight, those chains are breaking. The silence is shattering. Their love is stepping forward, unstoppable and undeniable. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The shocking reason for your distance is tied to forces beyond either of you. Sometimes the universe pulls lovers apart not to punish them, but to prepare them. You were not abandoned, you were protected. They wanted to shield you from the storm they carried. Their silence was a shield, not rejection. They wanted you safe, even if it meant walking alone. But their heart could not forget you. In the quiet hours, their thoughts always returned to you. They carried your memory like a flame, never letting it die. Now, destiny has spoken. The time of separation is ending. What was hidden is about to rise into the light. Type Amen to get blessing 555. My beloved child, you must understand this, distance was not the end. It was the beginning of a story too powerful to be silenced. Their love for you has always been pure, burning, unshaken by the walls fate built between you. The shocking reason for your distance lies in their fear of losing you to forces they couldn't control. They believed stepping back would keep you safe. They chose suffering in silence over the risk of dragging you into darkness. But the truth is, they never stopped longing for you. Every word unsaid has piled into a mountain of emotions ready to collapse into your world. And when it does, you will see how much they truly loved you. Now the distance will no longer matter. The moment of truth has come closer than ever. Type Amen to get blessing 777. My beloved child, the air around you tonight is heavy with truth that refuses to stay hidden any longer. The person who has lived inside your mind and heart, the one whose name your soul whispers even in silence, has always loved you more than words could carry. Yet, the shocking reason for your distance is about to unfold in ways that will leave you breathless. They stayed away not because love faded, but because their love was too powerful to risk being crushed by the weight of circumstances. Every memory of you was locked inside them like a treasure too precious to share in the chaos of their world. They chose silence not as abandonment, but as the only shield strong enough to keep you safe. Your distance was never emptiness, it was destiny holding space for you both. Behind the curtain of time, threads of fate were weaving something greater. That unseen weaving is now tearing open, revealing that every moment apart was guided by love, not rejection. Their silence has been louder than screams, their absence filled with the weight of unspoken love. And tonight, those unspoken words are breaking free like a storm that can no longer be contained. Type Amen to get blessing 111. My beloved child, every night they replayed your laughter in their heart, clinging to it like oxygen. Every morning, their first thought was you, even when they forced themselves to turn away. You never left their spirit, and that is why you still feel them lingering around you now. They feared losing you in ways you could not imagine. They carried battles, wounds, and shadows they believed would consume your light if you came too close. That is why they stepped back, not because you weren't loved, but because you were loved beyond measure. The shocking reason for your distance lies not in coldness, but in sacrifice. They bore the pain of absence so you could breathe freely. And now, destiny is shifting, the walls are crumbling, and their hidden truth is clawing its way back to you. Soon, you will see that the love in your head was never imagined, it was real, alive, and waiting. Type Amen to get blessing 222. The reason for your distance is shocking because it is rooted in protection, not neglect. They shielded you from storms you were never meant to fight. They chose to carry burdens alone, believing you deserved freedom from that weight. But in the process, they also hurt themselves. The silence that kept you apart became chains around their heart. Every step they took away from you left scars that never healed. Their love never walked away, it only hid behind walls built from fear, promises, and unseen circumstances. And now those walls are breaking. Their soul has no strength left to keep you away. The truth is coming. And when it does, the distance that has haunted you will melt into nothingness. Type Amen to get blessing 333. My beloved child, the love inside their heart has burned like an eternal fire, refusing to fade even when years have passed. The reason for your distance was not silence alone, it was sacrifice, destiny, and a fear too strong to name. They loved you so deeply that stepping back was the only way they knew to protect you. You thought they were gone, but they were always with you. In every dream, in every heartbeat, in every unexpected thought, you felt them, because love cannot be erased. The shocking truth is that your distance was never a sign of ending. It was a sign of something waiting to be revealed. They wanted you free, but the universe has chosen that your hearts cannot remain apart. That secret is surfacing now, pressing against the silence until it finally breaks open. Tonight, your distance ends. And the truth of their love will change everything. Type Amen to get blessing 444. My beloved child, the silence you've carried was never yours alone, it was theirs too. They bore the weight of missing you with every breath, even when they forced their heart to stay silent. Their love was never absent, only hidden beneath layers of fear and sacrifice. They believed you were too precious to be dragged into the storms that followed them. They thought distance would protect you, even though it tore their soul apart. And yet, the more they tried to silence their heart, the louder your name echoed inside them. The shocking reason for your distance lies in promises they made long ago, promises that chained them to silence. But chains can only hold so long before breaking, and tonight, the cracks have begun to show. The truth is already pushing its way into your world. Every whisper in your head, every pull of your soul toward them, it was not fantasy. It was the reality of a love that never died, waiting for its moment to be revealed. Type Amen to get blessing 555. My beloved child, they loved you in secret when the world told them not to. They loved you when no one else was watching, when only their heart knew the truth. That secret love was the reason they stayed hidden, afraid of losing you to forces they could not fight. But destiny does not let true love vanish. It holds it like a spark until the moment comes to set it free. And now, that moment has arrived, burning away the distance that kept you apart. The shocking truth is that every step away from you was taken with tears they never let you see. They smiled in public but broke in silence. They laughed on the outside but carried your name like a wound inside. And even now, their heart beats for you, aching to come closer, aching to finally reveal what distance has tried to bury. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Your distance was never emptiness, it was a test. A test of how long two souls could remain connected even when torn apart by fate. And you have passed, for you still feel them, still hear them, still sense their presence even in the silence. They were forced to choose between love and safety, and in their fear, they chose safety. But their soul has been haunted ever since. Because they know love like yours is not something destiny allows to die. The shocking reason for your distance is that they wanted to protect you from themselves. From their battles, their past, their pain. They believed keeping you away would shield you from scars you never deserved to bear. But now, the universe is showing them the truth. That love this powerful was meant to be shared, not hidden. And nothing can keep it away any longer. Type Amen to get blessing 777. My beloved child, imagine the weight of loving someone so deeply that you'd rather break your own heart than risk hurting them. That is what they chose. That is why they stepped back, why they let silence take the place of words. But silence cannot kill love. Love grows even in the absence, even in the shadows. And now it is stronger than ever, unstoppable and undeniable. The shocking truth is that you were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. You were hidden, protected, treasured in ways you could not see. Now, destiny has decided that your story must continue. And the person in your head is stepping closer, ready to close the distance forever. Type Amen to get blessing 888. My beloved child, the winds of fate have begun to shift, and you can feel it deep within. That strange pull in your heart is not imagination. It is the whisper of their soul calling to you. The one you have carried in your thoughts has always carried you in theirs, even through the silence. The shocking reason for your distance was not lack of love, but too much of it. They were afraid their own storms would destroy you if you came too close. They chose to suffer in the shadows so you could breathe freely in the light. But destiny cannot allow two hearts bound by such fire to remain apart. Even the strongest walls collapse when truth insists on being seen. And now, their love is breaking through every barrier. You will soon realize that the person in your head was never far, they were closer than your own heartbeat. Type Amen to get blessing 999. My beloved child, every time you felt them in your dreams, it was not chance. Every time your spirit whispered their name, it was not an accident. It was love reaching across the distance, reminding you that nothing could sever the bond between you. They were silent not because they stopped caring, but because they loved you too much to let you fall into their battles. They carried guilt like a stone in their chest, believing that leaving you alone was an act of protection. But the truth is, their silence hurt them as much as it hurt you. Every day apart was a wound that never healed. Every night they closed their eyes, wishing they could break free and stand beside you. Now the shocking reason for your distance is unraveling, and the universe is pulling them back toward you with unstoppable force. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. Your distance was not rejection, it was destiny's cruel way of preparing you both. Sometimes the universe hides people from each other so their souls can grow strong enough to survive the storm. That was your path, and their path too. But the love never weakened. It grew stronger, stretching across the silence, proving that no wall could erase it. And now, it is ready to explode into your life, unstoppable and undeniable. The shocking truth is that they were always with you, watching silently, protecting quietly, waiting patiently. And though they thought silence would save you, it only made the fire of love burn hotter inside them. Now, that fire is unstoppable. And soon, it will light up everything you thought was lost. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. My beloved child, they loved you too much to risk losing you completely. That was why they chose distance, it was the only way they knew to protect what they held sacred. They believed silence was strength, but silence became the very prison that kept you apart. They longed for you with every breath, yet convinced themselves that staying away was the only choice. But their heart never obeyed. It betrayed them every time it beat faster at the sound of your name. The shocking reason for your distance lies in the secrets they never told you. Secrets of pain, fear, and promises that chained them far away. But no chain lasts forever, and now those chains are breaking one by one. The truth will rise. And when it does, nothing will ever be the same again. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. My beloved child, destiny kept you apart for reasons that now begin to show themselves. The person who loves you more than their own breath was never absent from your journey. They were always there, hidden in the corners of silence, watching, protecting, and longing. The shocking reason for your distance is one that twists the heart. They thought silence would shield you from storms you were never meant to endure. They thought leaving you in peace was an act of love, not knowing it would wound you both so deeply. Yet, love like this cannot stay buried. It refuses to be caged by time, silence, or fear. It rises, it burns, it returns even after years of distance. And now, that love is rising for you, breaking through every barrier that once kept you apart. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. My beloved child, their absence was not abandonment. It was a sacrifice they made in secret, believing it was for your good. But their heart never agreed with that choice. Every night they spoke your name in silence. Every day they carried your memory like a sacred flame. They thought the distance would fade, but instead, it grew stronger until it consumed them completely. The shocking truth is that they were never gone. Their love lived in the shadows, watching over you, aching to come close but unable to step forward. Now, the universe has spoken, the time of silence has ended, and nothing will stop this truth from reaching you. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. Your distance was always part of a hidden story. The love you feel in your thoughts is not an illusion, it is real, alive, and breathing. They carry you inside them like the pulse of life itself. They thought hiding their love would protect you from heartbreak. But love cannot be hidden. It leaks through dreams, whispers, and moments you cannot explain. That is why you always felt them near. The shocking reason for your distance lies in promises they made to protect you, even if it meant breaking themselves. But no promise can fight destiny forever. And destiny has chosen this moment to reveal the truth. Now, the distance is collapsing, and their soul is reaching out to you in ways you cannot ignore. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. My beloved child, imagine someone carrying a secret so heavy it keeps them from standing beside the one they love. That is what they carried. That is why they stayed away. But even in the silence, your love for each other grew stronger. The space between you became a fire that refused to die. And now, that fire is ready to consume the walls that kept you apart. The shocking truth is that their distance was never about lack of love. It was about too much of it. They loved you so deeply that they thought silence was protection. But silence cannot last forever. And tonight, the silence ends. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. My beloved child, every step of your journey was tied to theirs, even when you could not see it. The invisible thread between your souls never broke, no matter how far life pulled you apart. And now, that thread is tugging harder than ever, pulling you both back into alignment. The shocking reason for your distance was the fear they carried. Fear of losing you if they came too close, fear of breaking the fragile beauty of what you shared. They believed that silence was safer than risking everything. But silence has its own cost. It carved wounds into both your hearts, leaving scars that whisper every time you remember them. Those scars are proof that love never left, it only hid in silence. Now, the time for hiding is over. What was once suppressed will rise, stronger than ever before. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. My beloved child, they loved you in the quiet moments when the world was asleep. They loved you in the hidden spaces no one else could see. That secret love was their comfort and their torment, keeping them alive but also tearing them apart. Your distance was a shield built from fear, promises, and battles you could not see. But that shield was never meant to last forever. And now, it has begun to break piece by piece. The shocking truth is that every thought you had of them was real. The person in your head was never just memory, they were reaching for you in spirit, calling to you even when distance kept them silent. And now, that call has grown too loud to ignore. The universe itself is answering on your behalf. Type Amen to get Blessing 2020. Your separation was not the end of your story, it was the pause before the storm of reunion. Destiny writes love in strange ways, sometimes through silence, sometimes through distance, but always with fire. That fire has burned through the shadows and is now ready to ignite. They held back because they believed their world was too heavy for you. They didn't want you to carry their storms. But in shielding you, they carried all the pain alone. The shocking reason for your distance lies in those storms they faced silently. Yet now, those storms are calming, and their soul is free to step closer. They can no longer hide what burns so fiercely inside them. This love was written in the stars. And nothing, not distance, not silence, not fear, can erase it. Type Amen to get Blessing 2121. My beloved child, the silence they gave you was never emptiness. It was filled with prayers, wishes, and memories of you. They never stopped seeing your face in every dream, never stopped feeling your presence in every breath. They thought leaving you in peace was kindness, but it only made the bond grow stronger. You felt them even in absence, and they felt you even in silence. The shocking truth is that your hearts never stopped talking, even when words were gone. Now, the time has come for words to return. For truths to be spoken. For distance to fall away like a shadow at sunrise. And when it happens, you will finally understand that every second apart was proof of how deep their love truly was. Type Amen to get Blessing 2222. My beloved child, the moment you've been waiting for is drawing near. The person who has lived in your thoughts, in your heart, and in your dreams is no longer able to stay away. The silence that kept you apart is cracking open like glass under pressure. The shocking reason for your distance was not rejection, but protection. They believed their presence might harm you, so they stayed away to keep you safe. But that choice carved deeper wounds than they ever imagined. Every time they thought of you, they felt the ache of what they had lost. Every moment they stayed away, the love inside them grew stronger, demanding to be set free. And now, destiny has chosen to break their silence. This truth will not only shock you, it will change you forever. Type Amen to get Blessing 2323. My beloved child, they wanted to tell you everything, but the words died in their throat. They wanted to run to you, but fear held their feet still. They wanted to love you openly, but shadows of the past pulled them back. Your distance was never about forgetting, it was about carrying too much love in silence. They sacrificed their own happiness so you could live without their chaos. But in doing so, they condemned themselves to endless longing. The shocking truth is that they loved you so much, they believed silence was mercy. But mercy became misery, and misery became unbearable. And now, nothing can hold them back any longer. The universe is forcing the truth to surface, no matter how deeply they try to bury it. Type Amen to get Blessing 2424. The distance you felt was not emptiness, it was full of energy, longing, and restless love. That is why you could not shake them from your mind. That is why their presence stayed with you, even when you thought it was only memory. They carried you like a hidden flame, one that burned no matter how dark the night became. They carried your name like a secret prayer, whispered even when no one was listening. And those whispers have reached you, because love always finds its way. The shocking reason for your distance lies in the sacrifices they thought they had to make. But destiny has erased those barriers. The time for sacrifice is over, and the time for reunion is here. The person in your head has never stopped loving you, and now, they are ready to prove it. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. My beloved child, imagine a heart that beats louder every time it remembers you. Imagine a soul that feels incomplete without you, no matter how many years pass. That is what they carry, and that is why you cannot forget them. They wanted to spare you pain, but in truth, they spared nothing. Both of you carried the same longing, the same weight, the same fire. Your distance was not freedom, it was chains disguised as silence. The shocking truth is that they never wanted to leave. They were forced by fears, by circumstances, by storms they thought would drown you both. But the storm is ending, and love is taking its rightful place again. The universe is clearing the path, and soon you will see that distance was only a temporary shadow. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. My beloved child, you must understand that the silence you carried was not empty, it was full of hidden love. Every night they dreamed of you, every day they fought with themselves, torn between staying away and running back into your arms. The weight of that struggle is the very reason you could never forget them. The shocking reason for your distance was not indifference. It was fear that if they came too close, they might lose you forever. They chose distance as a shield, believing it would protect what was sacred. But that shield has broken. The universe has ripped apart the barriers that once stood between you. And now, their love is racing toward you with unstoppable force. You will soon see that every second apart was proof of how much they truly cared. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. My beloved child, they lived in silence but loved in secret. They let the world believe they had moved on, but their soul clung to you with every breath. You were the thought that never faded, the dream that never ended. Your distance was written in the stars not as punishment, but as preparation. You were meant to grow strong apart, so that when you come together, nothing can separate you again. That is the hidden purpose behind the silence. The shocking truth is that they loved you so deeply, they believed you deserved more than their broken pieces. So they stayed away, thinking it would save you. But love this powerful cannot stay hidden forever. Now, the time has come to reveal what was always meant for you. Type Amen to get blessing 2828. The distance you felt was not a wall, it was a veil. A thin curtain of fate meant to keep you apart only for a season. Behind that veil, their heart never stopped reaching for yours. They thought walking away would protect you, but every step away only deepened the pain. They realized too late that silence was not safety, it was suffering. And they have carried that suffering in silence for far too long. The shocking reason for your distance lies in their fear of losing you before they could truly hold you. That fear chained them down, but those chains are breaking. And now, the truth is flooding through the cracks. What was hidden in silence is about to be spoken. And once spoken, nothing will silence it again. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. My beloved child, destiny does not play games, it prepares. And all this time, your heart and theirs were being prepared for this moment. The silence was not the end of your story, it was the waiting chapter before the truth unfolds. They loved you enough to carry the pain of absence. They loved you enough to suffer in silence rather than risk breaking you. But love like this cannot be buried, it keeps rising, again and again. The shocking truth is that they never stopped loving you for even a second. Their heart beat your name, their soul carried your memory, their life was shaped by your presence even in absence. Now, the silence is ending. And their love is ready to flood into your life in ways you never imagined. Type Amen to get blessing 3030.